I want to show you what I think is the best glitch for the map reckoning for Black Ops 6 Zombies. I've been posting multiple spots, but I think this one is the most fun. It has an ether shroud jump that you have to do, and if you can nail that, then yeah, you'll have a good time with this one. And shout out to Neon and Silent 9. I know they worked hard on this one, and I went in for the last couple of days, had a lot of fun with it, and stress tested it. I wanted to see what guns and equipment you could and couldn't use, and then there's also an issue of ammo, and I found a way to get max ammos from this location. But this is a 10 out of 10 glitch. It's a beautiful out of map. You've got a lot of room here. It looks absolutely awesome. For this glitch, you do need ether shroud, and you need the burst dash augment, and then also I would put on 2 charges because you need 2 ether shrouds to get to this location. The location for this glitch is in the purple mushroom area out by Speed Cola. Now you don't need any perks to be able to do this glitch, but I will show you some stuff that does work good. You want to come out here and spin around and point this direction, and you want to use that crate on your left as a guide. You're going to be tack sprinting forward, and when you hit that edge of that point of that crate, you're going to be hitting ether shroud and diving at the same time while continuing to move forward, and it's going to launch you up into that building. There are 2 controller settings that will make this a lot easier. So go into settings, go into controller, go into button layout, and make sure it says default. I like tactical, but I gotta use default for this one. Then go up to the top and go to movement, and then go down to slide dive behavior. You want tap to dive. You want to make it really easy for you to dolphin dive and ether shroud all at the same time, so make sure it says that. Okay, so right here I'm ready to jump. I have a full charge. I'm going to run forward, hit all the buttons at the same time, and it will launch you up here. Now let me show you what it looks like on the controller when you're hitting all the buttons. So right here you're ready to sprint forward, so you're going to sprint forward and then tap those 3 buttons really fast. That's all you're doing. I'll show it one more time. So you're ready to run forward, you're lined up, then you push forward and then tap those 3 buttons, and that's it. And you're tapping those buttons when you hit the edge of that crate. Once you get up here, you have to be careful because you just breached through this hole and you can fall back through, but the areas in green are safe. You can walk on those. And then one last diagram. This is an eagle eye view. So you're going to sprint forward at the corner of that crate. You're going to activate all the buttons. It's going to shove you up into the ceiling. And then you have to be careful not to step there. That's red, but the green areas are safe. Once you're up here, you have to ether shroud jump again over an invisible barrier, and that's where that green arrow is pointing to. So once you're up here, you're going to be on this side, and if you walk around the edge right there, you will not fall through. Then you want to put your back to that opening and give yourself a nice runway and sprint forward, and then ether shroud dolphin dive over that barrier. Then you can parachute down to the spot. Before you parachute down, I want to show you what you can do up here. If you're solo, this is not a good location because the zombies will get stuck around the map and you can't reach them, and you got to wait for them to die out. They seem to pile up right out of reach, and you can shoot through some of the barriers with regular bullet guns, but the first ray gun will not work. The ether blade does work well up here because it will go through barriers. This is better for co-op. You can help players kill the Klaus and create little pile-ups, but yeah, you definitely want 1 person up here and 1 on the ground if you're doing this. Okay, now I'll show you a nice clean run of doing both ether shroud jumps back to back. So I've got 2 charges ready to go. I'm lined up. I'm going to sprint forward and ether shroud dolphin dive right there at the same time. Stand up, move to the left, and just keep pushing to the left. Right at the corner there, you can drop down. You'll be safe. You can walk forward and fill that invisible barrier. It's right above the ammo crate that's below you. I back up all the way to that opening until I can't go anymore, and then you have to look way up and then sprint forward and then hit all 3 of those buttons at the same time. Now be careful because this can launch you right off and you're going to go straight into parachute. If you pull back before you land, you'll land on the platform and then you can go into parachute. But this is the path to get on top of the spawn. It's very easy to get here. Now there are death barriers everywhere, and I'll show you all of those. Now right here, shout out to Cam. He's gonna ether shroud over that invisible barrier, and he absolutely launched. And he's landed on a ledge right there that's halfway to the spawn, and you can see he's taking damage, so he's got to move or he will die. The next death barrier is on top of the spawn. There's this black box, and I think this is like all zombie spawn underneath, but this is a death barrier. You cannot land there. This next one is above this bathroom. This one is a no-go. You will get downed. Another one is if you try to go from above the spawn to like the parking lots to leave to go out, there's going to be a death barrier right there. One thing you can't do up here is go into the Mingler suit with mutant injection, and you can avoid the death barrier. So I jumped over here and I could run around, and you might actually be able to like run out and get past these death barriers, but once you come out of the suit, you're dead. You can fall off the edge and you will parachute for a moment, and then you will hit a death barrier, and it's over at that point. Now let's talk about the guns you can and can't use up here, equipment that does and doesn't work, how to keep the zombies flowing from the spawn so they don't get stuck, how to pick up max ammos, and then how to get out of here. First, I'll say from my experience, this works better solo because you can control the spawns better, you can keep them flowing and hoard it up really nicely. When you have multiple people up here, the zombies are kind of all over the place, they get stuck in their spawns, and it's hard to get that nice horde. And for my strategy, I want them tightly piled up because I'm using the napalm ammo mod strategy, where you set one on fire with one bullet and it will chain to the rest of them and kill the entire horde. So you can just take out wave after wave using very little ammo. For the augments for napalm burst, I'm using firebomb and incendiary. And then there's going to be a way to replenish your ammo with augments from other perks, the speed cola, the deadshot daiquiri, and the double tap. Make sure you have all those on that help give you ammo. And for me, an absolute must-have up here is the ether blade. This is in your lethal spot. It's an unlimited lethal. You can throw it over and over again. It has almost no cooldown, and it will insta-kill 3 zombies every time you throw it. It will also wreck the doppelgast and chip away at the Klaus. I've got a full tutorial on my channel on how to get the ether blade. It's very easy to do, and you can do it super early in the game. Now, most importantly, let's talk about how you can keep these zombies flowing and not stuck in their spawns, and this is going to be the solo method. Now, you can run around like crazy on the ceiling and attract some of the zombies, but some of them will still be stuck in their spawns. I found a method to keep the zombies flowing, keep them hoarded up, and you have to do minimal movement. So notice the Klauses. I don't kill them. I let them stay on the map. They do not hold the rounds, and they help me control the flow of zombies. Above this room, you can create 2 nice pile-ups and hoard the zombies quickly. And I alternate between the 2 locations. That keeps the zombies flowing and keeps them from being stuck. One location is towards the red teleporter. The other location is on the other side of the room near the bathroom. So let's say you have a Klaus in one of the horde locations and all the zombies are coming in, and you kill all of the zombies that flooded in, and the ones that are respawning are going to be stuck in their spawns around the map. Now you just move to the other side of the room and you try to attract the Klaus to come over there. Sometimes he comes over there really fast, sometimes it takes him a few moments, but if you jump around a little, you can get his attention. And you just go back and forth. You kill a giant horde and then move the Klaus to the other side of the room. They'll flood in again. You kill that giant horde and just keep going. As far as ammo, there are perks and augments that definitely help with that, but there's a way to pick up a max ammo after one of the robot rounds. Obviously, you can bring in a max ammo gobble gum to help you, but there's one way to get one more max ammo, and that's if you bring an RCXD up here with you. You can get into the RCXD and pick up power-ups below you, and what I did was I waited until a robot round and then separated the class from the robots. I killed the robots and then got into the RCXD and picked up the max ammo. Just be careful there's no zombies around you because they'll destroy it before you're able to get to the max ammo. Coming out of the RCXD, you do remain in the glitch. In one game, the max ammo spawned up here with me at the end of a robot round. I have no idea how that happened, but that's something to look into. If you go prone, you can pick up salvage and other items, but just be careful if you have the ether blades, don't exchange those out for something on the ground. You are able to access and buy plates right here in the spawn from that 2 plate off the wall. Now let's talk about the field upgrades that do and don't work. So the energy mine turrets do not work up here. This thing stayed there forever and it could never kill zombies. The frost blast works really good up here, but I noticed I never used it because I was killing stuff so fast with the napalm ammo mod and how that was chaining, and then also the ether blades. The dark flare does not work up here, and I did not try the Tesla. The new Mr. Peaks field upgrade does work up here. I had the augment on where he targets bosses, and I was always curious to see how much damage does he do to one of these big Klauses, and he can take about 1/3 of his health bar off. And wonder weapons that do and don't work up here. The first ray gun does not work up here. The second one does work up here, and the Apothecon Servant does work up here, the regular and upgraded. And then the wonder weapon that is associated with this map does work very well up here. And to make this glitch even better, you can easily get out. You just go prone over the top of the teleporter. You can teleport out. It's going to put you into the Pack-a-Punch. I use this many times to get in and out, go get what I need, and get back in. And now I am going to go enjoy this glitch before it's gone. Hope you guys do too, and we'll see you next video.